Hello everybody, this is Manu S again. Time for another Eternal news, cause we just got a fairly big spoiler dump unveiling one of the new mechanics called Ally and a couple of cards that use it and do similar things. So let's dive right in. First off, we have Milos Izalio, heir to the Rebellion. So I guess that is either a different version of General Izalio, like before he became a general, or maybe after he was a general and like turned to the rebellion. Not quite sure on the lore there, but he is either a version of the same Izalio in General Izalio, or at least related to him. Probably a version of that Izalio, because it sounds like a first name. Oh no, actually, it's like a second name, Milos. So maybe it's a relative of General Izalio, or it's just a different version of General Izalio. So basically, this is a 3-power 2/3, which is decent if you have a gunslinger ally, which simply means this guy has to see another gunslinger. That means if you play him and you have a gunslinger, he gets double damage. If you play him and then play a gunslinger afterwards, he has double damage. And the double damage is one time and permanent. So he doesn't get double damage every time you play an ally or have an ally around. Once there is another gunslinger in play, he automatically gets double damage permanently and keeps it even if the ally leaves. This is all explained here. So basically if I play this on turn 3, it's a 2/3 because I don't have another gunslinger in play. Turn 4 I play another gunslinger, then he gets double damage. The opponent kills my turn 4 play, he still is a 2/3 double damage. The other thing is this basically works like ultimate, so it's like ultimate, it's like a one-time trigger and it stacks. Like if this guy dies or gets returned to my hand, he is still a 2/3 double damage, and if I play him again, he can get double damage again, which in this case obviously doesn't do anything. But there are ally boni explained here, like +2/+2 for example, that stack. So it's stackable in the same way as infiltrate or ultimate, for example. So that's important to know. And on top of it, when he attacks while wielding a weapon, you get +2 power. So he has the potential to ramp you. Like for example, you can equip a katana to him, making him a 4/3 double damage, and then attack and get the 2 power back. So you can basically play a katana on him for free, for example, which is potentially nice and interesting. And after that turn, if he survives, he can even generate power and accelerators, which is even nicer. So all in all, the card doesn't seem super impressive, but it definitely looks like a pretty solid and potentially interesting card. We will have to see. And it introduces how ally works for us. This time it's Gunslinger ally, and it basically defines what ally. It's like unit type plus ally, and then defines it. It's often the same unit type as the unit itself, but sometimes it's a different unit type. We'll see an example for these in a moment. Next off we have Inquisitors Howard. It's an Artisan weapon. It's a 3/1 relic weapon, and if you have a Valkyrie to trigger ally, it becomes a 3/3 weapon. Important here is the fact that ally is a one-time trigger, so you can't play like 2 Valkyries and then it's a 3/5. But what you can do is, after it dies, you can return it with like a Reforge or a Smuggler's Stash, and then trigger ally again to make it a 3/5, for example. Or in terms of Reforge, in case of Reforge, a 5/7. So you can basically trigger this once every time it's in play. So if it leaves play to the void or to your hand and you replay it, you can trigger ally again. That's one of the cases where the stackable bonus applies. And yeah, a 3 cost, 3/3 weapon in Argenport. Looks pretty decent and might be appealing. I'm not sure, there's a lot of good 3-cost cards in Argenport, so there's a lot of competition, but the card is definitely solid if you have enough Valkyries. Problem is, the only good Valkyrie you usually want in Argenport is Valkyrie Enforcer for now, and sometimes Macto. But if we get enough Valkyries to make, say, make the 4-cost 3/3 Valkyrie playable that is a 6/6 as long as you have another Valkyrie, then this Inquisitors Howard might quickly become more appealing. In addition to that, especially with more playable 4 and 2-cost Valkyries to set this up easy, because preferably you want a 2-cost Valkyrie on turn 2 and then play this on turn 3 as a 3/3, because playing it as a 3/1 and hoping it survives till turn 4 to play another Valkyrie is not very likely, so the best Valkyries to go along with this are 2-cost Valkyries. But yeah, the card is power level wise pretty decent and might be interesting for constructed and pretty good in the Alright. Next we have another different creature type style ally. Here it's an explorer that has Dinosaur ally and creates a 3/3 Dinosaur with Overwhelm as ally trigger, which is really nice. So this is basically 2 3/3s, one with Overwhelm for power in Elysian, and also it's an explorer, so it triggers Evelina. This is going to be a great piece for the Elysian Dinosaur deck. They're pushing dinosaurs even more as a tribe. This can easily replace champion of, I think, Progress? Yeah, the Elysian champion basically in the 4-drop slot, because it's also an explorer just like the champion, but in addition also provides a dinosaur and provides the same stats in total. And if you have more ways to make this 3/3 dinosaur better, it becomes even impactful. So yeah, Scale Tender, a pretty nice and interesting card and fits well into a borderline existing archetype. Next off we have a card that's not actually an ally, but it's still a tribal card and tribal synergy in Thudrock Arctic Artisan. Another legendary of the new set, the 4-cost 5/3, double primal, and when it hits the enemy player, you get a snowman that has attack and health equal to the number of Yetis you control. The fact is, due to the fact that this is a Yeti itself, if you have a Wump on turn 3 and play this on turn 4, you immediately get at least a 2/2 plus the buff from Wump, meaning it's a 3/3, and if you have a 1-drop or a 2-drop Yeti around as well, it becomes even bigger. So curving Wump into this with a couple of Yetis around is super powerful. So going like Snowcrust Yeti into Champion of Fury into Wump into Sudrock is a potentially super powerful curve. And then the threat of this guy hitting the next turn and not being torchable because Wump makes it a 6/4, so they have to kill Wump, and then you can like removal or rampage the next turn to make sure this hits the opponent again, get another snowman, and by that point the opponent is going to be so far behind that it's going to be really hard for them to come back. So yeah, this looks pretty interesting and might make a Yeti centered Skycrack aggressive deck legit appealing, especially because this might not be the only Yeti or Yeti synergy card in the new set. We already saw Jotun Puncher, which is probably not gonna be like good enough for a deck like that, but we might see some other decent Yeti cards to fill out some slots in the Yeti deck. So yeah, maybe we'll get another sweet tribal deck with the new set, we will see. Next we have another legendary of the new set, Stella the Shotcaller, the 3-cost 2/2 Aegis, and when she attacks wielding a weapon, each gunslinger and weapon in the deck gets +1/+1. So they start pushing gunslingers as a tribe, and this is likely gonna go into an Argent Port or even more likely into Rakano deck, simply because most gunslingers are in the Rakano colors, especially in red. There's a lot of gunslingers, I think, and Rakano alongside Argent Port are the two main weapon alliances, so that's where you get the most benefit from this. This is basically like a smaller Aegis Navani type effect, except that it only affects a certain type of units instead of all units, but it still affects all weapons, even relic weapons. So this is actually pretty powerful, and the fact that it's also coming down a turn earlier than Navani makes it that much more impactful. This card looks really sweet and might turn out really good. Like for example, curving this into a Hammer of Might gives you a 5/5 Aegis that should be able to attack into a lot of things and provide you the buff. Although they made sure that it's not Warcry, so it doesn't synergize the same way with Hammer of Might as Navani does, so you don't get +4/+4 on everything like you would with Navani. You only get +1/+1 on everything, and an additional +3/+3 on the next thing you see. But it's still pretty good, and might be an interesting puzzle piece to give us a new style of Rakano deck, now that the old style is kind of struggling. And last but not least, we have a new Dinosaur, the first Xenon Dinosaur, if I'm not mistaken, which is a bit weird because it pulls dinosaurs in 2 directions, and it's like not gonna be that easy to go like full on 3 faction dinosaurs, and this is actually a pretty powerful dinosaur. So 5 cost 3/3 that gives all other dinosaurs +1/+1, so we finally have like a dinosaur lord, a dinosaur pump lord, and it has ambush at night, but they refuse to yet let us know what night means or when night applies. The LSV said in the post that we learn that soon enough, but not just yet. So we can only speculate, and so far I don't have a good guess what night could mean. But yeah, it's another dinosaur and it's a pretty good one. It's slightly overcosted, but I guess the fact that it has ambush potential might make up for the slightly high cost, depending on what the ambush condition is, basically. Because ambushing with like +1/+1 to all your units can really mess up combat for your opponent. So that is definitely interesting. Also, it's, I think, one of the fewer Xenon ambush cards, which is also interesting. But yeah, this needs a lot of dinosaurs to be relevant, and right now Dinosaur Tribal and some of the good dinosaurs pull you more into a Elysian direction, and being double shadow also doesn't make for a great splash. I don't know, maybe dinosaurs will end up being like Xenon splash single primal, but not sure, we'll see. Might be, because I think except for Avisaur Patriarch, most of the dinosaurs are either time or single primal. So maybe it will turn out that Xenon is more of a core dinosaur alliance, and we will splash like Terriax hatchlings and like Scale Tender into a Xenon core. We'll see. Alright, that's it for this fairly interesting and exciting and also big spoiler dump. We got to see a bunch of new legendaries and rares, three new rares and 2 new legendaries. So we start getting to see some bigger role players of the new set, which is nice to see them this early and start brewing in your head and imagining ideas and get a better idea of what direction we are headed. So that's cool. I appreciate that. And also to get this big of a scoop at once is also really nice. Alright, that's it for this spoiler review again and this Eternal News video. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and turn on the bell icon in for the notifications so you don't miss out on future videos, especially now during the spoiler season. And follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you haven't yet. You can find that all down below in the description of the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I'm out. Bye.